a basket. Instead, a lamp is placed on a stand where it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your good deeds shine out for all to see, so that everyone will praise your heavenly Father. And that's the New Living Translation. Jesus likened his disciples to salt. They were to the world what salt is in everyday life. Salt seasons food. It hinders the spread of corruption. It creates thirst. It brings out the flavor. So his followers add to human society. We serve as a preservative and make others long for the righteousness described in the preceding verses. If the salt loses its flavor, how can its saltiness be restored? There is no way to restore the salt, the true natural taste. Once it has lost its flavor, salt is good for nothing. So people of God, if we lose our saltiness, we'll be just like natural salt, good for nothing. The one great function we have is to be the salt of the earth by living out the terms of discipleship in the Beatitudes and throughout the rest of that sermon. If we, the saints of God, fail to exhibit this spiritual reality, the world will tread our testimony under their feet. The world has only contempt for an undedicated believer. The unsaved can tell us more about how we need to be, how we need to live than some of us can. Verse 14, Jesus also calls Christians the light of the world. He spoke of himself as light of the world in John 8 and 12, 12 and 35, 36 and 46. The relationship between these two statements is that Jesus is the source of light. We are the reflection of his light. Our function is to shine for the S-O-N, just as the moon reflects the glory of the S-U-N. The saints, we're like a city that's set on a hill. It's elevated above its surroundings, and it shines in the midst of darkness. Those of us whose lives exhibit the traits of Jesus' teaching cannot be hidden. Embarrass Jesus. If Jesus can be touched with the feeling of our infirmities, can he be embarrassed by our actions and attitudes? What Hebrews 4 and 15 says, we don't have a priest who is out of touch with our reality. This is Message Bible. He's been through weakness and testing, experienced it all but the sin. Do you think he was embarrassed when Mary and Joseph interrupted him as a 12-year-old boy, sitting in the temple holding scholars spellbound? They took him away saying, we thought we had lost you. You had us so worried. How embarrassing to say that you are the Messiah and have people you grew up with march you out of town and try to throw you over a cliff. Find that in Luke 4:29. It was embarrassing when he told Jairus his daughter was merely sleeping, and the people in the house laughed him to scorn. Matthew 9:24. When the high priest asked Jesus about his doctrine, Jesus replied, why do you ask me? Ask those who heard me. John 18 and 21. And one of the officers slapped Jesus because he felt Jesus spoke in an unacceptable tone to the high priest. How embarrassing. But probably one of the most embarrassing moments was when he was asked about his disciples. Judas betrayed him, Peter denied him, and the rest ran off hiding. What did Jesus say? So here is the question. I'm almost to close. Does your character, your conduct, and watch out, I'm about to say a bad word. It's not a 4-letter word. It's a 10-letter word.